Hello, my dear students. I hope you are having a good time. As you know that we have started chapter 6 in our previous videos. We have studied about various components of air. Today in this video, we will study about importance of air for all living things, including animals, plants, and human beings. I hope you are having your book and a pencil in your hand. Please open your books at page number 102. So the topic is importance of air for all living things. So all living things need oxygen to live. That we have done while doing oxygen. Air as a whole acts as a medium of propagation of sound. So sound cannot travel from one place to another if there is no medium between. So air acts that medium. Air helps to dry up wet clothes faster. Air plays an important role in water cycle. Due to presence of air, birds and insects can fly. Air helps in pollination of flowers and dispersal of seeds. So air acts as an agent of pollination and dispersal. Windmills move due to movement of air. It is filled in tires of vehicles for smoother movement. Now, air is also important for plants. So, which component of air that are usually used by plants? There are three components mainly used by plants. That first is nitrogen. Nitrogen is required both by plants and animals. So plants take nitrogen and it is essential for growth and reproduction in both plants and animals. So this nitrogen is found in amino acids that make protein or in nucleic acids. So these proteins, these are good for the growth, and from plants we take these proteins. So how this nitrogen is available to so plants, they cannot take nitrogen directly from the air. So what happens, there are many nitrogen fixing bacteria. It is the last paragraph of the same topic on page 103. So how this nitrogen is made available to the plants. So nitrogen fixing bacteria that are present in the soil, they take nitrogen from the air and combine it with air to form nitrates, with the soil to form nitrates. These nitrates are then absorbed by the roots of the plants along with water. And these nitrates, they are converted into plant proteins, and animals use these plant proteins when they eat plants. So this is the first nutrient, first component of the air that is used by plants. The second component is oxygen. Oxygen is used for respiration in both animals and plants. So respiration, it is the process of breaking down of food by oxygen to release energy. So this is present in both plants and animals. And the waste product of this process is carbon dioxide. Here it is the reaction of respiration. Glucose, which is the food present in plants and animals, it reacts with oxygen that is breathed in. It reacts with glucose, and by the waste products are carbon dioxide, water vapors, and energy. Energy is released that is utilized by plant body and animal body to perform various activities. The third component of air that is used by plants is carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is used for another process taking place in the plant, that is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process of synthesizing food in plants. And we have four requirements of photosynthesis. That is carbon dioxide, that is taken from the air, water, the roots absorb water and it is made available to the plant. Sunlight provides that essential energy for this reaction to happen. Then chlorophyll, which is a green colored pigment that is present in the leaves and it helps in trapping sunlight. So these four things are required for photosynthesis. And glucose, that is food, is formed and oxygen gas is released. So here it is the reaction of photosynthesis: carbon dioxide plus water, sunlight, chlorophyll. So these four things are required, and glucose is formed and oxygen that is liberated into the air. So this is how this plants, these need all these three components of the air. Now in animals also respiration takes place, but no photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a characteristic feature of only of plants. So oxygen, it is inhaled with air that we breathe in, and carbon dioxide is exhaled with the air we breathe out. So the air we breathe in is known as inhaled air, and the air we breathe out is known as exhaled air. And there is a difference in the composition of inhaled and exhaled air. For example, the exhaled air is more moist than inhaled air. You have to tell me why. This is your question, why it is so. So let us discuss it in detail. If we go through this table, here the air that we breathe in, the composition of components of the air that we breathe in, and the composition of components of air that we breathe out. So oxygen, when we breathe in air, oxygen is 20.9%, that is approximately equal to 21%. And when we breathe out exhaled air, it has 17%. So nearly 4% oxygen is utilized by cells of the body. Then carbon dioxide, inhaled air has 0.034%, in very less amount, and when it is exhaled out it becomes 4%. So this additional carbon dioxide is released by the cells of the body. Then nitrogen is 78.1%, and when it is released it is 78. So because nitrogen is not used by the body cells. Water vapor, variable but very high in the exhaled air. So here are some questions. Assess yourself. You please find the answers and try to solve these questions. So another use of air is combustion. Combustion is the burning. So for burning we require oxygen in the air, that is used for burning, and burning is scientifically it is known as combustion. So what happens during burning? It is a reaction of fuel that we burn. So reaction of a fuel with oxygen. It is similarly like a respiration. The difference is here oxygen reacts with glucose, here oxygen reacts with the fuel that you burn, wood, coal, paper, whatever you burn. And the reaction completes as carbon dioxide is produced, water is produced, and energy in the form of heat and light is produced. So this is the difference between combustion and respiration. So here is a table that shows the difference between combustion and respiration. Combustion is a chemical process, whereas respiration is a biological process. Combustion takes place at a very high temperature. When you have to burn something, you have to provide a very high temperature, whereas respiration occurs at a normal body temperature. Combustion is a fast process, whereas respiration is a slow process. Most of the energy produced is heat and light. When you burn something, you get heat, you get light. But in case of respiration, only a part of energy is liberated as heat. Oxygen is directly used in this process, and respiration oxygen is employed as an oxidant only at the end of the reaction. Then combustion is an artificial and discontinuous process. And respiration, it is a natural and continuous throughout the life. But burning, when you burn something, it is not continuous. So after some time, when the fuel is over, so the burning will be over. So here is an experiment that shows that burning produces carbon dioxide. For this, they have taken a candle a funnel, and it is attached to a delivery tube, a test tube having lime water. Lime water is calcium hydroxide. So when candle is burnt, the gas produced is collected in this funnel and it goes to this test tube. And when this carbon dioxide come in contact with lime water turns milky, which was transparent earlier. So this milkiness is due to formation of calcium carbonate. This is produced when carbon dioxide react with calcium hydroxide. So this shows that burning produces carbon dioxide. So many kinds of fuels are used in household and in industries, like wood, coal, liquefied petroleum gas, LPG cylinders, compressed natural gas, and for this oxygen of the air is necessary. So without oxygen, burning cannot be completed. Another use where oxygen is used is rusting. Rusting, what happens when iron objects are exposed to air and moisture? So which gas in air? Oxygen. Mainly oxygen react with. So oxygen in the presence of water vapors, when it reacts with iron objects, it produces a reddish brown coating or layer called rust, which is called jung or jangal in local language. So you must have seen iron objects turning rusty when they come in contact with moisture. This process is called corrosion or rusting, and this reddish brown coating is called rust, and chemical name is hydrate iron oxide. Here is the reaction of rusting. Iron react with oxygen and moisture, and what is formed? Rust, which is hydrate iron oxide. And I recommend you to write, these are the main reactions of this chapter: respiration, photosynthesis, combustion, and rusting. Better when you start your chapter 2 exercise, before that you write these 4 reactions on your notebook. And there is one experiment to show conditions for rusting, that how rusting takes place. So what are the conditions for rusting? Let us know before we do this experiment. Presence of oxygen and presence of moisture. So rusting cannot be done without any of these, and it can be prevented by painting, grazing, electroplating, and galvanizing. So here is an experiment to perform. So what happens? We have taken 3 test tubes. In first test tube, we put a chemical called anhydrated calcium chloride. So it is empty, means having only air, and from air it removes oxygen. Now it removes water vapors. So it is dry air, no moisture, only oxygen is here. In second test tube, we have taken pre-boiled water. Boiled water cooled, and it is the top of this water layer, it is sealed with oil, so that no air can mix in. So here water is present but no air. In third test tube, we have taken simple ordinary tap water, and now in all the test tubes we keep an iron nail. If we keep the setup for 5-6 days, what will we find? What according to you, which of the nail will be rusted? Find out by reading the experiment. You will come to know, and if you know the condition, you will definitely get the answer. Next is balance in nature. So this balance in oxygen and carbon dioxide, that is quite important. So plants, they produce carbon dioxide during respiration. So they balance it by taking it back for photosynthesis during daytime. But at night time, it is not possible because photosynthesis takes place only during daytime. So that is why it is not advisable. Rather, it is here one question also. It is not safe to sleep under a tree at night. So this is the reason that during night only respiration takes place in plants, no photosynthesis, only carbon dioxide level is very high at that time. So some of the oxygen is made by photosynthesis. So in this way they balance. And the other important gases present in the other gases, inert gases, what are their uses? That there are some other gases like argon, neon, which are used in filling electric bulbs, and neon is used in neon electric signs. And helium, which is another important component of air, it is used in weather balloons. Krypton is used in manufacture of special camera tubes. So students, please go through the part of the chapter that we have read in this video and try to find the answers of the question that I asked during the video. Thank you and have a nice day.